A lot of fans are asking me about John Fury, saying, is it staged? Is this real? I'll be totally straight with you. This is real. As far as I'm concerned, when somebody starts running the mouth and threatening me, I take it very seriously. This is not staged. This is not a pantomime, as much as it could look like one if I end up in the ring. Absolutely fucking useless. I'm not being funny. Listen, I'm talking about professional boxing level. At the level he's at, he's done all right. He's got decent balance, throws a decent backhand from a southpaw stance. But let's be honest, this would be a mismatch. Even at 48 years old, retired 11 years, it's a mismatch.
What's going through your mind? Why do you think he's done this bet?
Can't believe how lucky we are, you know, and thanks Saudi again for having us here. It's just getting better and better here in Saudi Arabia. I want to come back. I want to do business here and nowhere else in the world. Here's where it's at. They're great people. They treat people with ultimate respect no matter who they are.
Let me go, let go. He doesn't even try and stay in there. He just taps out instantly like a little bitch. Gets choked out. So he's talking about choking me out. I'm choking myself here now, getting excited. But you know, watch the guy get choked out, and he's talking about, you know, it's not good. He needs to have a reality check and realize.
The boxing world is about to explode. Carl Froch, the legendary Cobra, has just declared war on John Fury, and this isn't some publicity stunt. This is years of trash talk, disrespect, and unfinished business finally coming to a head. Froch has had enough of Fury's mouth, enough of the theatrics, and he's ready to settle this once and for all in the ring. For boxing fans who have watched John Fury run his mouth for years while hiding behind his son's success, this feels like the reckoning we've all been waiting for. The four-time world champion isn't just stepping back into the spotlight for a payday. He's stepping in to teach a lesson.
It's gone to the stage where the broadcasters are quite interested, and he's making demands now, unreasonable demands about trying to get Tommy Fury on to fight before him and me. He's basically put a blockade in there with his son Tommy, which is ridiculous because, let's be honest, no one gives a shit about Tommy fighting. Who cares? We watched him against fake Paul. Watch that fight, and Tommy's done nothing since. He pulled out against Darren Till, and he's done fuck all since, so no one's bothered. It's Big John Fury running his mouth, big gobshite, making a load of noise.
Here's where this gets absolutely wild. Carl Froch is calling out the elephant in the room that nobody else will touch. John Fury talks like he's some elite fighter, like he's been in wars with champions, but the reality is devastating for his reputation. The man has never, not once, shared a ring with a legitimate world-class professional boxer. Think about that for a second. All those years of talking tough, all that bravado, all those threats, and he's never actually proven himself against anyone who matters. Meanwhile, Froch spent years going to war with the best super middleweights on the planet. He's been in there with Mikkel Kessler, Andre Ward, George Groves twice at Wembley Stadium. The Cobra knows exactly what championship-level violence feels like, and he's about to introduce John Fury to that reality.
I'm not going to big myself up too much. So he's never stepped into the ring, which is what I'm trying to get at, with a real professional boxer, ever. And recently he's been running his mouth saying, if you got me in a ring, a boxing ring, UFC ring, the only ring I'd be getting in is a boxing ring. But he said he'd choke me out. So maybe when he sees me, he's talking about choking me out. But let's just be clear about this. He won't be choking out anybody in the last.
But here's the kicker. John Fury isn't backing down from this challenge, and his response is exactly what you'd expect. He's doubling down on the swagger, claiming decades of gym knowledge like that somehow translates to professional boxing success. Fury's out here talking about how fight night will prove him right, how all his experience will show when the lights are brightest. The confidence is almost admirable if it wasn't so delusional, because here's what John Fury doesn't seem to understand. Gym wars don't prepare you for Carl Froch. Sparring sessions with prospects don't prepare you for a man who's been in front of 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium and delivered one of the most brutal knockouts in British boxing history. The Cobra's proven world-class experience isn't just impressive on paper. It's the kind of pedigree that exposes pretenders when the pressure is real.
You know what I'm saying? I've been around the gyms all my life. I've come off 200 years of knowledge in my head. These people can't compete.
And get this, Eddie Hearn is already poking fun at the whole situation, highlighting just how much drama is building around this fight. He's calling out John Fury's antics while making it clear that when the bell rings, none of the theatrics matter. The entertainment value is undeniable. Fury knows how to put on a show, knows how to get people talking, knows how to create moments that go viral on social media. But skill, timing, and composure are what actually decide who walks away with their dignity intact. Hearn's seen enough of these spectacle fights to know the difference between someone who can entertain and someone who can actually fight. And Carl Froch, the man can do both. He's got the personality to sell a fight and the skill to end one.
Yeah, you crack a little laughing. What was all that about? What was so funny about that? Why didn't you stay? Why didn't you say then? Why didn't you step in and say, "Hang on a minute"?
I
in a boxing match.
I even told him I think he'd knock you out, like personally.
What?
You know
To try and build it.
I'd love the fight though, wouldn't it? I mean, like you got Tony Bellew over there. He's going, do you know what? I could beat that bridge.
Now listen to this part, because this is where the story gets really interesting. This fight represents way more than just two men settling a personal beef. This is about respect, legacy, and what it means to be a real fighter in today's boxing world. The pressure on John Fury to prove himself in a legitimate boxing environment is absolutely immense. Think about it. He's built his entire persona around being this tough, no-nonsense fighter who doesn't take disrespect from anyone. But now he's facing someone who's actually lived that life at the highest possible level. Fans are craving authenticity in a sport that's become flooded with social media personalities and manufactured drama. And those who have been chasing easy money and fake respect are about to find themselves brutally exposed when real skill and genuine pride take center stage.
It's going to be a waste if you keep fighting these crossover fights. All right, you're taking the money, that's great. But when your career's over and you've finished, you want your legacy to be intact. You want that respect, and you're killing off the fans. The fans are turning against you. You can see it with the comments on all your videos and the stuff you say. You can see that they're turning against you. And it's sad to see. I don't mind you giving me stick. You're having a bit of a go back. You're defending yourself. You're on your back foot. And deep down, I think you know you're hurting the sport. And I think you know that actually what you're doing is bad for the game. You're taking the money instead of being full of pride for the sport.
Hold up, did you catch what Joe Egan revealed about John Fury's history of running his mouth? This is the same man who called out multiple fighters, stirred up all kinds of drama on social media, got people excited for potential matchups, and then mysteriously backed off when it came time to actually sign contracts and step in the ring. The pattern is clear as day. John Fury loves the attention that comes with calling people out, but he's been strategically avoiding anyone who might actually expose his limitations. Now all eyes are on Carl Froch, and the Cobra is ready to make Fury face the consequences of years of disrespectful behavior. The message couldn't be clearer. Experience and legitimate skill are about to put the bully in his place, and there's nowhere left for Fury to run.
I watched Carl Froch getting knocked down by George Groves. He was gone. Carl Froch has an incredible...
But wait, it gets even better. Johnny Nelson is praising the intensity building around this entire situation, and he's pointing out something crucial that casual fans might miss. John Fury is excellent at stirring up drama, creating viral moments, getting people talking on social media. But now the focus has to shift from entertainment to actual action in the ring. And that's where Carl Froch's ability to dominate world-class opponents becomes the defining factor. Fury is walking into a harsh reality check against a man who's made a career out of breaking down fighters who thought they were tougher than they actually were. When the Cobra unleashes that devastating power that ended George Groves in front of 80,000 people, John Fury's going to understand the difference between talking tough and actually being tough.
Win the fights that he's had with the great champions, and he's come out of the sport intact. For John Fury to be calling out Carl Froch on his opinion, because Carl Froch is entitled to give his opinion in boxing. If you can't have freedom of speech, what was the point of these men and women dying in the world wars, giving their lives in vain?
What do you think would actually happen if John Fury and Carl Froch, as he is,
Carl Froch could stand there and say to John, I'll give you 2 free shots, John. Hit me with your right hand.
Here's what makes this whole situation even more fascinating. Adam Smith broke down exactly how this rivalry escalated, showing that John Fury's initial reaction to Carl Froch's social media comments was pure emotion. Fury tried to turn some online back and forth into a legitimate challenge, probably thinking Froch wouldn't actually accept. But the real test isn't going to be in the Twitter exchanges or the press conferences. It's going to be in the ring, where Carl Froch has spent his entire career thriving under the brightest lights and the highest pressure. Fans are anticipating absolute fireworks because Froch doesn't just perform in these attention-grabbing situations. He dominates them. He uses the energy, feeds off the crowd, and turns spectacle into systematic destruction.
He went and tried to approach Carl Froch, screaming all these things at him. You know, the fighting man, you know, John Fury, 100-0 on the hard road, in spite of the fact he's been ironed out in the boxing ring plenty of times, including by non-punchers like Henry Akin one day, and it's all there for the people to see. He was going in on...
And here's where everything starts falling into place. Liam Goh highlighted how this rivalry escalated from social media beef into discussions about an actual professional boxing match. John Fury tried to set conditions, probably hoping to control the narrative or find a way to make the fight favor his limited skill set. But Carl Froch's immediate willingness to step up and accept the challenge shows a level of confidence that should terrify anyone with sense. This isn't desperation from a retired fighter looking for one last payday. This is a proven champion who genuinely believes he can embarrass someone who's been disrespecting the sport he dedicated his life to mastering. Fans can see that Froch isn't just talking trash or trying to generate buzz. He's ready to back up every single word in a legitimate professional boxing environment.
Froch. Yeah, Froch I'm fine, because I'm quite sure Carl's going to rip the life out of John after today. I think John did the job. John did the job and got the excitement going, got people talking. That's exactly what he did.
Now get this absolutely wild detail from the press conference chaos. Ade Oladipo was there to witness the intensity and drama firsthand, watching John Fury try to provoke and intimidate Carl Froch with all his usual antics. The shouting, the posturing, the attempts at psychological warfare. But here's what separates real champions from pretenders. It's Carl Froch's composure and elite-level skill set that will truly decide the outcome when the bell rings. The Cobra has been in these high-pressure situations before, facing fighters who were bigger, younger, and hungrier, and he's always found a way to impose his will. Fury's bravado might work on social media or in heated exchanges with media members, but it won't withstand the reality of championship-level boxing from a man who's proven himself on the biggest stages in the sport.
Carl having a go at the Furies, probably over his time on his channel, maybe, I'm guessing, and John didn't like that and wants to have a fight with him, something like that.
It was something like that. I don't think he was still necessarily turning down a fight.
What I do know is that John Fury and Carl Froch on the cobbles will be fun. I think they're both.
But here's where John Fury's personality really shines through, and why this fight is so compelling from an entertainment perspective. The man brings absolutely outrageous energy and raw bravado to every single interaction. The antics, the mocking of opponents, the over-the-top displays of confidence make for incredible press conference moments and viral social media content. But all of that showmanship actually hides a crucial weakness that Carl Froch is perfectly positioned to exploit. The ring is the only place where skill truly matters, where you can't fake your way through 3-minute rounds against someone who wants to hurt you. And the Cobra thrives under exactly this type of chaotic energy. He knows how to stay composed and focused while opponents burn valuable mental and physical energy on theatrics and intimidation tactics. Fury might be able to rattle casual fans or inexperienced fighters, but experience, precision, and tactical intelligence are Froch's real weapons. When that opening bell rings, all the posturing and ego-driven displays fade away, and the true fight begins.
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch, and I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch I know has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, any man, any time, was saying words to the effect of, "Oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right." And Carl Froch basically said, "All right, well, if we arrange payment, it can go to charity."
David Adeli reminded everyone exactly why Carl Froch is feared by anyone who's studied his career. And it's not just his technical skill that makes him dangerous. It's the devastating power behind his punches that often surprises opponents who think they know what they're getting into. Fighters consistently underestimate the Cobra based on his calm demeanor or calculated approach, but his boxing history is filled with conclusive knockout victories that ended fights in spectacular fashion. John Fury's aggressive style might be loud and entertaining, but experience and calculated power are what actually decide outcomes when two men are locked in a ring together. Froch doesn't rely on intimidation tactics or psychological games. He lets his fists do the talking, and every jab, every combination, every power shot is designed to dominate, dismantle, and control the pace of a fight. Fury can try to bully his way forward or rely on rough tactics, but one solid shot from Froch could completely shift the entire dynamic and remind everyone why he's considered one of Britain's greatest super middleweights.
fights. I mean, John Fury looked like he was trying to fight Carl Froch. Obviously, Carl has said a few things about John Fury over the last few months, and John Fury, being John Fury, went straight for him. I'm not quite sure what he was going to do if he got to him, but I guess that was the entertainment from the press conference.
Eddie Hearn perfectly captured the physical challenge that John Fury represents, calling him a big old lump with genuinely unpredictable tendencies that could make things interesting. But even acknowledging that chaos factor, Carl Froch's experience and impeccable timing make him the man to watch when things get messy. Fury might try to rely on brute strength, rough inside fighting, or even dirty tactics to gain an advantage. But Froch's discipline, accuracy, and fight IQ ensure that he'll capitalize on every single mistake and turn Fury's aggression against him. Fans are going to witness a fascinating contrast between reckless aggression and polished, devastating technique. This is exactly the kind of scenario where the Cobra has historically thrived, where opponents think size and noise and intimidation are enough to win fights, but true skill and championship-level preparation win the day. Froch can absorb pressure, read patterns in real time, and strike with lethal precision that turns his opponent's bravado into vulnerability and their strengths into weaknesses.
Father of the king of the world. I think he's referring to Tyson Fury. You know, when you have kids, you know, most people, when they want to talk about their children, they might pull their mobile phone out and show a few pictures. Big John just shows you his balls. That's where they came from. If there's anyone who needs a Manscaped advert, it's fucking John.
John Fury's self-proclaimed gypsy-style training approach showcases his rugged confidence and the raw energy that makes him such a compelling personality. The unconventional preparation methods and old-school mentality make for entertaining stories and great social media content. But Carl Froch has faced every imaginable challenge at the absolute highest level of professional boxing. Fury's unorthodox preparation might impress casual fans or generate buzz on social media, but the ring is completely unforgiving of gaps in skill, conditioning, or tactical preparation. Froch's methodical approach, refined and perfected over years of world-class competition, ensures that every punch he throws counts, and every defensive maneuver serves a specific purpose. This clash isn't about spectacle or entertainment value. It's about who can execute their game plan when the pressure is highest and the stakes are real. Fury may boast about his endurance, toughness, and unconventional training methods, but Froch knows exactly how to break through that bravado and impose the kind of control that wins fights.
He hits harder than people expect, I think. I think a lot of people, obviously, they pick up on his boxing and how good of a boxer he is, but he hits harder than people expect.
Gareth A. Davies revealed the genuine intensity behind John Fury's public persona, highlighting his passion and fierce protective instincts when it comes to his family's reputation and legacy. That emotional investment is real and admirable, but passion alone has never been enough to win professional boxing matches against elite-level opposition. Carl Froch's precision, composure, and championship-level experience mean he's prepared for every conceivable type of aggression, every emotional outburst, every desperate attempt to turn skill into a street fight. Fury may come out swinging with everything he has, driven by pride and genuine belief in his abilities. But Froch's ability to control distance, dictate pace, and unleash power at exactly the right moments ensures that this fight will ultimately favor skill over raw emotion. This is a classic scenario where years of hype and social media drama meet the harsh reality of professional boxing, and history consistently shows that fighters like Carl Froch always make their opponents pay dearly for underestimating their abilities.
I would never back against Carl Froch on the cobbles, ever. But John Fury's a big old lump. There'll be some illegal moves in there. Do you know what I mean? But if they ever get close...
And here's Carl Froch himself, exuding that lethal confidence that made him one of the most feared super middleweights of his generation. He's calling out the bully tactics and empty theatrics of John Fury, and he isn't just talking trash for the cameras. He's making a genuine promise to deliver action that backs up every single word. The Cobra's methodical, ruthlessly efficient fighting style ensures that every movement, every punch, every tactical adjustment will systematically punish overconfidence and expose the difference between talking tough and actually being tough. Fury's bluster and intimidation tactics are about to meet championship-level experience, surgical precision, and the kind of proven pedigree that can only be earned through years of elite-level competition. When that opening bell rings, Froch is ready to dominate in the most convincing way possible. sending a clear message that no amount of intimidation or psychological warfare matters when skill and strategy decide the outcome.
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a 3-time Hall of Famer, or just doing it myself, John Fury style, running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style, and I'm going to prove to everybody out there.
So here's what this fight really represents, and why it matters beyond just two personalities settling their differences. This is the ultimate test of skill versus spectacle, experience versus bravado, proven championship pedigree versus untested confidence. Carl Froch brings a career built on world championship battles, proven knockout power, and the kind of mental toughness that can only be forged through elite-level competition. John Fury comes with raw aggression, impressive size, and absolutely relentless self-belief that's carried him through every challenge in his unconventional life. The Cobra has faced opponents who were bigger, stronger, younger, and equally hungry for victory, and he's consistently found ways to impose his will and dominate when it mattered most. This fight will definitively show who can impose their will in a professional boxing ring, who can maintain composure under the brightest lights and highest pressure, and who truly understands and respects the craft of boxing at its highest level. If Carl Froch wins convincingly, he cements his legacy even further, proving once again that talent, preparation, and ring intelligence beat bluster and intimidation every single time. If John Fury somehow manages to shock the world, it would represent a monumental upset and serve as a powerful reminder that raw determination and genuine unpredictability can sometimes surprise even the most seasoned champions. But let's be real about what we're likely to see. Mentally, Carl Froch looks sharper, more focused, and genuinely hungrier to prove a decisive point about respect and authenticity in boxing. Fury will undoubtedly bring passion and unpredictability into every single exchange, but fans will be on the edge of their seats watching every punch, every movement, and every reaction in what promises to be an unforgettable clash. So here's my question for you. Drop it in the comments right now. Do you think John Fury's bravado and unconventional style can somehow overcome Carl Froch's proven championship pedigree? Or is the Cobra about to deliver a brutal reality check that ends this debate once and for all? If this breakdown helped you understand what's really at stake in this incredible matchup, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more elite boxing analysis, and hit the notification bell because this fight is just the beginning of what's shaping up to be an absolutely wild year in boxing. I'll see you in the next one.
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him, right, literally face to face, and I said, well, you know, what is upset? He said, I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on.
Yeah.
You know the comments.
Yeah.
My guy.
I might be the chosen one. I feel like it might be my job to finally shut this big gobshite up. All he does is run around, running his mouth, beating his chest, the ultimate man and all that bollocks. So John, for one final time, listen to me so it goes into that thick skull. I accept your challenge, but know one thing. When that first bell goes, I'm going to come over to your corner and absolutely stick it on you, Cobra style, and set about you and make a mess of you. You know why? Because you're a bully and you need putting in your place. You're a bully and you're making a mockery of